Can you absolutely believe it? What are we doing today, Maureen?
I have grown vegetables!
Woo! Check your teeth. Good, good. It's only been 3 weeks since I did my first tour, but I have a lot of pruning and things that I need to get done, but I just had to let you all see just what has been going on over the last 3 weeks. Wow. If you haven't already watched the first one, seriously, you need to go back, look at what it was. I'll put a link in the description or even just up here. You've got to see it because 3 weeks and a lot of warm weather, it has just made an incredible difference in my garden. I'm going to do it slightly similarly to the last one, so we'll start with the potatoes. The potatoes that I had hilled up, they have just continued to grow. And right below the potatoes are the watermelons that are flowering out. And 3 weeks ago, I showed you a flower of the watermelon. And now we have a fist-size watermelon. Wow. There's another one fruiting there. And more flowers. And this is my Big Mac's pumpkin. 3 weeks ago, it was just a little wee lad. And if we come around, these are the sugar pumpkins. Like everything was about 2 to 3 inches tall. And now look at it. These are other melons and I've got them trellising up on this new trellis. Oh right, I need to show you the trellis. Let's back up a bit. We added in a great big large trellis to go across there. And that is where the melons are. On this side, I've got some loofahs growing that I just transplanted and some Vortex beans. But just look at the squashes. Our kabocha squash in this section. This is the spaghetti squash patch that has 4. Let's go and have a look.
Hello, spaghetti squash.
I've never had it where the fruit actually started right from the plant. Usually they trail out and then produce fruit. Not these ones. Just look at that. And then if we continue on, there's our first patty pan growing, peeking in here. This is all crookneck squash. In here, the ginger has popped up and our marigold has started to flower. And then we're just going to continue on. I did throw a watermelon in here just recently, and of course, look at that. And then these are called carnival squashes. Yeah, we want a fruit now. As we continue on, this is my acorn squash. Hello. We'll just continue on. Like, look at the foliage. Like, I need to trim that sucker back. I believe another acorn squash. Okay, this is the zucchini spaghetti squash patch. Yes, I know there shouldn't be this many squashes in one grow bag, but but we have lots of zucchinis. Lots of zucchinis and lots of flowers growing. Okay. All right, this is a bit more normal for a spaghetti squash, you know, vine out and then make your fruit. The yams are doing okay, so well, hopefully they will root. I'm not sure about growing them right off the potatoes, but I'm giving it a shot. The gaillardia is growing beautifully. I gotta pop that one off there. And this is super bee friendly. Bees just love gaillardia. Oh, I think there's a watermelon that got planted there. Hee hee. And then if we come around, look at this nasturtium. It has more flowers than it does leaves. And the fruit trees are coming along. I moved the Haskap's berries here. This loofah in a pot, he loves it here. He's doing very well. This is the bed that was formerly known as the pepper bed. I've moved all the peppers into garden bed number 1. And in here we have a whole bunch of volunteered tomatoes and squashes. The compost that came out of my tower had a lot of my tomatoes from last year that the rats ate, and also squashes that maybe didn't turn out. And so here we have a whole bunch of volunteers. Like, that is a huge clump of tomatoes. I'm probably going to leave some of them in there. I might plant something else in there too, but I'll show you where the peppers are now. So in here I had all the bok choy and we took that out and canned it up, and now I've put the peppers in here, and they are liking it much, much more in garden bed number 1 behind the broccoli. One of the reasons why I moved the peppers into this bed was I was noticing that my potted peppers were doing so much better than the ones that were in ground. The pepper bed was under this apple tree, so it was getting some sun, but just not enough. Where when I was looking at all my potted peppers, they were all growing much, much better. And so at this point, you know, there is going to be some afternoon sun in that far part there, but there also will be this evening sun. These are all my slicing cucumbers. Again, 3 weeks ago, we were putting them into the pots and everything was just, you know, a 2-inch plant. But check this out. We have a foot-long cucumber right here, right now, ready to pick. Wow! The broccoli has doubled in size since 3 weeks ago. And we've got 2 beautiful crowns growing. I didn't get any broccoli last year because the rats came in and ate them and just decimated them. Oh, lots and lots of flowers on these slicing cucumbers, and there is other cucumbers, but those 2 were my biggest ones. And then if we go over to the tiered garden, these are all of my tomato plants that I couldn't give away, so we just potted them up. And these are all the indeterminate ones. But again, everything has doubled in size. And of course, there is lots of blooms and fruit. I'm serious, you really need to go back and look at the video from 3 weeks ago, because it's like night and day. It's not like, oh, 3 weeks. This is like 2 months or 3 months have gone by for the amount of growth that's happening in my garden right now. Woohoo! Garden bed 2, the corn is looking absolutely magical. I've already been pickling cukes from this bed. The beans are just getting enormous, as are the turnips and the radishes that are in here, and the carrots. This is some latecomer beans that I just recently planted, I think about 8 days ago, and look at them. Those are called a vortex bean, and I guess the bean pods get to like 12 inches and longer. So I thought, I gotta have some of those. So I ordered some, planted them up, and woohoo! We already got our bean plants growing. Garden bed 3, the cabbages are just enormous. I've got my 1-pole bean that has just decided to exceed the trellis. The pickling cukes, I've already again picked some over there. And beans are coming along. I have seen some that are starting to flower. It's all looking great in here. And then in my strawberry asparagus patch, I've got a whole bunch of bush beans growing in here, as well as the 2 loofahs. And this loofah again, like the plant is hardly big, but yet we have some fruit on it. Just bizarre. Here is another one growing. Like, look at this nasturtium. Look at the, you know, we're calling these lily pads because they are so big. And this one is actually sprawling itself way over there. It's just a massive nasturtium. Just amazing. I'm absolutely just in awe at how magnificent the garden is growing this year. It's just blowing my mind. I know that it's to do with the local soil that I get from farm to garden. That soil is so enriched. And then also, of course, my poo-poo juice. Those 2 things hand in hand are just making a huge difference in my garden. I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take care. God bless.